Bearing made a reply to the video I'm going to make a reply to next. So some might think I'm just following in his footsteps, and I'm not really going to say they're wrong. Some might think I have something new to bring to the table. I really hope I do. Anyway, this is my response to.
Ah, YouTube, the place where cat videos dominate, viral videos give you the latest meme, and also discourse on social justice?
Well, and here comes my first question. Social justice, not social justice? So why is it weird people have a discourse about something some people call social justice? I mean, because some call it social justice, basically we all have to blindly agree?
I'm Shannon, and in this series, I'll be taking us on a little bit of a meta journey through the YouTube community and how it has become a space where social issues such as gender, race, and sexual orientation are being driven by a digital generation.
Hi, I'm Modwayne, and I'm more than willing to engage in that discourse. Though I have the feeling it won't be much of a discourse. It will probably be a lot of preaching, and I know I'm not the choir, so maybe it isn't meant for me. But I'm going to engage and I'm going to try, and maybe you will prove me wrong and you will engage me. Who will tell?
Like many of you out there, I've spent many a night getting sucked into the YouTube vortex of content, but in doing so, I've found some amazing YouTubers and thus their online communities. Over the years, I've started to notice an interesting bit of discourse that arises from the content creators we have here.
Yeah, no, I do agree with you there. I mean, I got dragged into the online community, so to speak, as well. Though I don't really think that's just one community online. But the thing is, though, the discussion I prefer to partake in is a discussion of egalitarianism and how those most vocal about how they're being oppressed are, in fact, the oppressors. And those most vocal about wanting social justice are, in fact, the ones that do not want it at all. But this is my perception of things. Please prove me wrong.
But first, some definitions. What is YouTube? Well, this. If you've made it this far, you probably know what it is, but for argument's sake, YouTube is a video sharing website where users can upload video content. What is a YouTuber? Well, Wikipedia likes to define YouTubers as a class of internet celebrity who are popular because of their videos on YouTube, sometimes referred to as YouTube personalities or YouTube celebrities. I'm gonna have to disagree with you there, Wikipedia. I'd argue that technically a YouTuber could be a user who uploads regular content. YouTubers can be filmmakers, comedians, educators, vloggers. Wait, what was that you said? Vloggers? Video blogger, or vlogger, is someone who creates videos wherein they speak directly to the camera, just as I'm doing now, sometimes with loosely scripted content, about their thoughts and opinions. This itself is a format that covers a wide range of subgenres: daily vlogs, lifestyle vlogs, travel vlogs, tutorials, game reviews, social issues. There's probably way more that I'm not even aware of, but it is that last one that we're going to spend this series focusing on: YouTubers or vloggers who discuss social issues.
Okay, and then there's people like me, people who make response videos. But then again, we might consider ourselves vloggers as well, I guess. Not really sure about that. But on average, I totally agree with just about everything you said just a moment ago. So, yeah, sorry.
What? I thought people on YouTube just made dumb comedy sketches. Comedy is a huge part of what makes content successful, but there's still room for social discourse by members in the YouTube community, including those who create comedy. But more on that later.
I find it difficult to cut what you're saying in a nice way. You edited it pretty sharp. I mean, you overtalked yourself a little bit. That is maybe a lame excuse for me for cutting off the last letter of some words you say. But anyway, that's not the point I wanted to make. The point I wanted to make is comedy in itself is a great tool, and those that can use it right wing, left wing, social justice, anti social justice, no matter how you want to put it, because that's what comedy is. Unfortunately, I am not that great with comedy, but one day I might give it a go. Anyway, drifting off again, sorry.
One final question. What is the YouTube community? The YouTube community generally refers to those content creators or YouTubers who have engaged with the content of others using YouTube as a social space for participatory culture. While there's no one definition, the YouTube community came out of those first users who started using the platform for vlogging, video responses, and collaboration. It is a tight-knit community that is ever expanding but is still quite niche in the overall YouTube sphere. As YouTube enters its 11th year, this community has evolved as any community would, with trends, breakthroughs, and a few bumps in the road.
I'm not really sure if I agree with your definition on this. To begin with, could you elaborate on tight knit? Because that gives me the feeling that people are interconnected and like to be interconnected. But my personal experience is that several groups or communities within the YouTube community are all trying to carve out their own space. And this is something you see in normal society as well. I mean, you have groups, and each group has a subgroup, and each culture has a subculture, etc., etc., etc. But if something has a lot of subcultures within it, and those subcultures aren't 100% compatible with each other, then by definition, they're not close knit. So, elaborate, please.
And by bumps in the road, of course, I mean erasure of women, people of color, discrimination within the gay community, cases of sexual assault, sexism, and men's rights activists.
Ooh, a lot of empty words. I'm sorry, this means nothing. Erasure of women, how? How are women being erased? I mean, you're a woman, you clearly have a voice, and I'm not trying to shut you down, so how are you being erased? Feminist Frequency is by Anita Sarkeesian. He's making loads of money because idiots keep giving her money for not doing what she promised, but she's not being shut down. Zoe Quinn, big name. Why? Because she's a victim. She's not being shut down. The whole thing that she is a big name is that she's a victim. People of color. How are people of color being shut down? I don't see this. Maybe I'm blind, maybe I'm ignoring things, but I don't see this. Sexism. Well, the thing is, I do see a lot of sexism online, but I'm pretty sure it's not the same sexism you see. Because you might, because now I'm filling in, so that's not nice. You know what? I'm going to stop myself here. But the sexism I see from feminism. Funny enough, they're supposed not to be sexist because they're victims, etc., etc., etc. MRAs. MRAs are a negative thing. MRAs are an answer to the sexism feminism brings. It's a reactionary movement, whether you agree with them or not. Basically, MRAs are closer to being egalitarians than feminism has ever been. Oof, I could go on for a while. I'm going to stop here because there's more to come, I know.
So basically the same problems we have everywhere else?
Yeah, no, not like the real world. I mean, the real world has real issues and real problems. Um, what we see on YouTube, and we see in the real world too, fair enough, is a lot of trumped up problems and lies and exaggerations. And, well, I mean, the term does originate from this first world problems.
What's interesting is the way YouTubers have gone about self-policing themselves as a grassroots organization without the direct influences of the overseeing YouTube corporation. Unlike other mainstream entertainment industries like film or television, YouTube's open access platform allows for creators to speak about discrimination and marginalization within its community. In the next 3 videos, I will be discussing the following areas of marginalization. Women of YouTube, sexism, feminism, and women's voices. Gay YouTube, acceptance, culture, and beyond the flamboyant. YouTube So White, race, representation, and erasure. For each of these episodes, there will be a corresponding playlist with the videos and YouTubers I mentioned, plus some other resources that are worth checking out. Each of these videos will feature case studies and what they mean for the larger discourse for social issues on YouTube. A quick disclaimer, I will be discussing potentially sensitive topics and will be critiquing some of YouTube's most popular content creators. Basically, for the fans out there, I'm not trying to personally attack your favorite YouTube star. Rather, this is meant to be an analysis of how the YouTube community has approached social social issues within its ranks. Before I move forward with this series, I want to pull from an excellent vlog done by Asante the artist discussing intersectionality and checking your privilege. So, what is intersectionality?
Um, oh no, I know this one. It's a tool to increase one's victimhood, right?
It's a concept of overlapping or intersecting social identities and related systems of oppression, domination, or discrimination.
Are you sure? Doesn't sound right to me.
As Asante and Reed say, what privileges you have or don't have relates to minorities and how you take on multiple identities at once. Now, before I move forward as our guide through these social issues, let's check those privileges that I have. Educational privilege, check.
Is that the privilege that you studied hard or that you were allowed to walk through college? I'm sorry, it's unclear to me.
White privilege, check.
Oh yeah, that illustrious white privilege that I hear people talk about, which is so dominant in America and Europe and China and the Arab world and the African world and the world of Narnia and Tolkien's Middle Earth and
Male privilege, not check.
yeah, that illustrious male privilege. I won't even say white because this is just male, and ooh, I mean, the average male has the right to commit suicide. On average, he does so 3 times more often than women. The average male has the right to be sent to war to be killed there. The average male has the grateful option of losing their children if they would divorce from their wife, whether they initiate divorce or their wife initiate divorce. The average man has the right to be ignored when a victim of domestic violence. The average man has the right to have nowhere to go to when they are a victim of said domestic violence. Oh yeah, and the average man has the right to be told time and time again how they are privileged.
Class, check.
Now I am willing to believe that money is privilege and class can be equated to money as well. So what class would that be?
Religious privileges, check.
Does that mean that you're of a prevalent religion within your society? And considering you look white and American, you're probably not Muslim or Hindu or Sikh. So I assume your religious privilege is Christian. Well, it damn well can't be agnostic or atheist or any of the other ones I mentioned other than Christian, now can it?
Able-bodied privileges, check. Heterosexual, no. Cisgender, check.
Well, all this privilege thing was a nice bunch of useless information, but I like the last bit though. I mean, you are cisgender, but you're not hetero. And I was living under the assumption that cis meant you were hetero. Not that I give a fuck about it, but huh?
I'm coming into this project with my own histories and experiences and do not wish to speak over those with different than mine. Instead, I hope to act as a springboard for you to discover others who are speaking out on these topics. Now, with all of that being said, let's do this.
Yeah, I won't put all your links down my box, but I will have a link to your video so people can go and check your stuff if they want to. And I'm not going to say they should or they should not. I mean, it's if they want to. Now, I wish I could check the links she put in there, especially the YouTube links, because I'm a curious little arse. Unfortunately, when you edit your um, text and you might not pay attention to it too much, YouTube themselves change the names of any link to YouTube to end in dot dot dot, which doesn't really matter But when you then edit the text again, it will see those links as dot 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 at the end and then doesn't recognize them anymore. So unfortunately, I cannot check her sources. Then again, I mean, maybe this is an honest mistake. I can 100% see this to be an honest mistake. Don't get me wrong. And who knows, maybe she'll fix it and we can watch those brilliant, funny, and insightful videos or whatever it is she linked and then respond to that too. But let's first see if she's going to respond to this video. And I won't lie, I fear she won't. Let's see. Oh, and as usual, feel free to leave your comments down below. I do love criticism. I mean, I do like to be part of a discourse. This whole video is to be part of a discourse. I'll probably won't be invited again. Ah, poor me. Anyway, thank you for watching and see you next time.